Welcome to my video and photography studio. I'm going to give you the grand tour. I'm going to show you what we've got, why we've got it, how it works, all of that good stuff. Let's begin in the corner. Now, from the questions I've had asked, this must be one of the most misunderstood studios on the internet. This looks like a commercial studio. It is not. This is not where the ad campaigns happen. This is my creative space. This is where I come to create my personal work in the hope that some big brand goes, let's pay Scott should campaign, here's 100 grand. That's the dream. So that's what this space is for. It's for me, it's for my dog to hang out in. It's my Monday to Friday, often also Saturdays. It's where we do YouTube videos and film the content for our education platform. This is not a commercial studio. 99% of the time, it's me and Teddy in here. That's it. But let's talk about kit, as that's what you're all excited for. So, over here is my tether station. This is a rock and roller cart, whatever the top spec laptop is, a cow digit, a rated NAS drive doodah. We shoot to T7 Samsungs, a nice calibrated monitor, and all of the camera kit I'm likely to need in an instant. The whole point of this here is, and this whole section, is that we don't have to go into storage. This is a fraction of the kit, but it's kind of one of everything. So down here we've got the Blackmagic case, the Fuji case, microphones, rigging toolkit, the Canon case, the probe lens, and the microphones for the podcast. Everything we need, or likely need, is there. We then have two 3200 Broncolor graphite packs. Now I've got 5 in total, the others are all Scoros, and then I've got another 5 1600 packs, but these two stay out because if I want to do something, I don't want to have to go into my storage unit to get the kit out of the secure locations. These we leave out. We then have soft light. We've got a hazy light with a Broncolor G, whatever they're called, head, and we've got 4 of those heads, but only one's out. We've then got my Para 133 with a Unilight head in. I've got 10 of those heads, but only one's out. I've got a couple of soft boxes, octaboxes, optical snoots, and a soft lighter. I've got a 1200D Pro aperture light and a 600D Pro aperture light. The rest, the other 8, are in storage, but 2 is enough to get running. It's enough to get started. If I've got an idea and I want to test it, I can wheel the shoot table out, which is also the podcast table, and begin creating. My main camera is always out. Fuji GFX, Pocket Wizard attached. There's Pocket Wizards on these ready to go with batteries. 90mm Actar, Cambo MV, Manfrotto head, Manfrotto salon stand, and a Cobra tether cable. Always ready to go. This has been my rig now since last summer. The last time I shot a campaign with not this exact rig, different lens, different accessories, was the Cheese one, Cathedral City campaign. Since then, that was early last summer, this has been it. This will probably be it now for the next decade. Perfect setup. Perfect setup. Perfect setup. These aren't being changed. These are all the best of what I could possibly want, and I'm happy with them. Now back here on the pegboard, we've got some rigging and grip. These are science clamps to hold test tubes, but you can also hold a beer bottle, a Coca-Cola bottle, a tube putting liquid in something for motion. Down this side here, I've got camera kit, so triggers are in the trigger drawer. And then if we're traveling to an actual shoot, we get out the big think tank logistic managers, there is a trigger section within there. Every label on here marries up to a label in the backs. Now, I am inherently lazy. If I didn't have this kit ready to go, there's no way I'm building a Para. There's no way I'm rigging up a hazy light from bits. Putting a softbox together, highly unlikely, but if it's just there, just whip it off. Behind this here, we've got flags, scrims, silks, black tape, black card, diffusion materials, all sorts of bits ready to go. Because sometimes, wouldn't it be great to have a bit of negative fill there? And if it's ready to go, you're more likely to do it. Through these doors is the same size space again. You don't get to see that on YouTube, that is private back there, but there's gear storage rooms, there's equipment, there's a lot of chaos, One day I'll take you in. But for now, this corner is the corner you most often see me in. This is my YouTube set. I swing around like this. I've got my lights here. I've got a 6K Blackmagic and I've got a microphone there. There's a preset for the edit. There's a preset for the light. There's a preset for the audio. It all just works. Now behind this is a little trolley, which is my charging trolley, which is spewed out onto a charging desk, and we've got a bit more pegboard with more rigging equipment. The charging trolley is great. Everything we have where we've got like multiple sockets of charging going on, we attach an LED to it. So every LED in this building is there because it's part of a multi-socket system. Then when I leave the studio at the end of the day, instead of going, oh, did I turn that off before I melt the whole studio? I just look and go, yeah, all the lights are off, all the dangerous charges are off. Anything which is slightly overloaded is sorted. Now the backgrounds up here, they're held in by plumbing pipe connectors, which are screwed into a plank of wood that costs like £5 to make. I've got chargers up here for everything, subwoofer and speakers for main studio audio. My first camera that I use for big jobs, the 5D Mark II, that is now framed, that's my original one. That paid for all of this. All of this studio, which we moved into in 2016, is possible because of this camera's work. I like to think I played a part as well though, but that's the tool I used for it. Sage Pro Espresso Maker. We don't use it very often. I have one espresso after lunch. It's a pain to use an espresso machine. This is not the best espresso machine, but it has a grinder built in. Very useful for shoots. Normally I have a pour over, got a little gooseneck kettle, we have a V60, Wilfer grinder, and plants. Plants everywhere, plants as far as the eye can see. This is a concrete box. You need to make it a nice environment to be in. Otherwise, it's really hard to get creative and inspired when you don't like your surroundings. Now, this here is my least favorite part of the studio. This is the kitchen. It is the cheapest kitchen that IKEA sold at the time I bought it. Because I was new to this, I didn't have the money, so I bought the cheapest. This will be an upgraded soon. We'll go for something really nice, something very aesthetic. But we've got freezer, fridge, hobs, oven, microwave, kettles, all the usual stuff. Down here is a mocha master for making batch brew when we've got lots of people in. We want a lot of coffee at once. I'm not making everyone a flat white. Everyone's having batch brew. I then got my artwork from Moggy the cat, who used to come in all the time. I get messages now and again going, how's Moggy? Moggy's fine. She's just a cat. And she's very sassy, so she doesn't come in too often. Obviously, Teddy comes in more often now anyway, because he likes to be here. Now this is my church pew. I love this. I sit here when I'm on the telephone. If I'm on a telephone call, this is where I sit, but really what it gets used for is when I've got a stylist and we're working on something, this is a storage bench. Before we had proper commercial kitchen units, they were ugly, they were hideous. They came all the way out to here, so they ate studio space. But more than that, I use them as a dumping ground. This is beautiful, it's kept clean, it's kept clear, and then when we need it, we pop stuff on it. Now, the actual spot you're most likely to find me in is this sofa behind. I have a little old laptop, it's not a good spec one, it's just an old cheap laptop. I sit there, I do accounts, I do treatments, I do email campaigns. I do it from there, I like sitting there, it's my happy place. I can see the light coming in, I can see the whole studio, my dog sits next to me. It's just a nice spot to be in. I've got the original Pirelli Leibowitz calendar there, and then up yonder, some Mexican film posters. It's nice, it's pleasing. Now this is the chaotic side of the studio. So my office is through there, the entrance is over there, or one of the entrances is. I've got my soft boxes above, they're all Bowens but adapted to Broncolor, my Broncolor reflectors. In these big things here, that's my old Bowens packs and head systems. It's nice little chairs, we bring these around the coffee table when we're doing lunch. Sorry, I just banged on that, didn't I? You thought it was the door. We've then got grids, some artwork some friends did for me. The wall of Teddy, so this is like jackets, wax jackets, harnesses, leashes, his jacket here, which he does wear from time to time, but not in the summer, more in the winter. And then my steel single speed for getting down to the shops. We've got reflectors, polyboards, backgrounds, wooden backgrounds, paper backgrounds, all just stacked up there. That kind of works for me, I think. And back here is my workbench. Come and see. So when I moved into here, we didn't really have anything. It was an empty box. It was grim. The offices weren't even built. So I built it all myself and with friends. this is the workbench that built it. It's also the workbench that maintains my car, maintains the studio, builds sets, painting sets, anything like that. It happens here. Now, if you find me in here, it's serious. This is my editing rig. This is where Rob often sits. But this is a M1 Ultra. We've got 160 terabytes stacked up there. We've got a Kingston dock, which takes these Samsung drives from the Blackmagic. They just dock straight into it. We've got a Lexar dock for SD cards, CF cards, micro SD cards. I've got a monitor hidden over here, which lets me see what's going on in the studio and at the front door. And yeah, BenQ monitors, Teddy. BenQ monitors, got a horizontal one, a portrait one, so I can like have notes at the same time as editing. These get calibrated every time we do an edit. However, the reason the desk over here is looking so empty is because we don't edit any campaigns in-house anymore. I am done with it. Client editing requirements now are ridiculous, so we can send it to a post house. So that used to be a whole network attached desk over there with everything on it and another one here. It's just for YouTube, it's overkill really, for YouTube and for the education videos. That is all we're doing in here. We don't do anything else. Got a little camera fridge or, you know, dehydrator. Stops lenses going mouldy. Got one of those down there. It's got all my film cameras in it really, nothing work related. We've got a much bigger one next door for the actual storage of proper cameras. But yeah, this is my little spot now. The M1 Ultra itself, you can buy for a couple of grand refurbished nowadays, pretty good. Over there is a M1 Mac Mini, you can get those for like £400 refurbished. It's all affordable stuff, but then it's not a proper editing suite anymore. It was once this was an editing suite, but now it's just a nice place to work. And again, plants everywhere. Let me show you around. In case you need a freshener, we've got a bit of aftershave, sinks around here, bit of artwork. You come through here to the office. Teddy's up to no good in there. Got this lovely clock my agent bought me. Nice artwork. This is from a prison where the prisoners do some artwork. All my lovely plants. Plants for the win. Tequila bottle. The charging chaos that has spread from the charging station that spread to the charging shelf that is now also the charging desk. And then of course the LED lights, so I know it's on. Over here is an iMac. This is literally used to play cycling races and nothing else. A selection of jackets for filming in, a new Billingham bag that I'm still not sold on. Teddy's bed. He's tired. We went for a really big walk this morning. And then you come back out to the studio. This is it. This is my studio for the work that I create.